Hi, thanks for taking time to join us for Android on Air. I'm Mike Burr, Android Enterprise Security Specialist. This is the first in a series of videos dedicated to helping organizations learn about Android and how to put the platform to work. Today, I want to help explain how Android security updates work and how Google has invested in delivering security patches in a more consistent and frequent manner. So again, thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to learn the truth about Android security updates in 2019. The Android and security and privacy team has a strategy to protect every user. One, we provide strong defense to make sure that the devices are running smoothly and that they're secure for both users and IT and enterprise customers. The second is we're very transparent. We believe in an open platform. We work with all ecosystem vendors and partners, including the OEM and carriers, to ensure these updates out get very quickly. We also partner with the expert teams within Google to help ensure that those 2.5 billion users' devices are actually safe. The Android security and privacy team actually focuses on three main areas. The first being the platform safety engineering area. This is the team that works on the feature development components that build in those controlling components that allow admins to control and mitigate some of those vulnerabilities and risk posture settings for your fleet. They're the team that also builds in the components that have been hardening the operating system and driving the ecosystem to leverage the hardware components to make these devices much safer. The second is the application safety engineering team. These are the guys that work on Play Protect and help defend against internet threats. They're also a very important part of the user experience that offers security and privacy for admins as well as users. And then finally, the security assurance team. This is the team that builds vulnerability management components into the system, and they also review with the OEMs and the carriers the full cycle of development, and they also help build the fuzzing and tools that help make the operating system safe. Now, as we've gone around the planet, we've learned a couple things that is a common theme on the globe. Doesn't matter what region, what vertical you're in, we hear these three common complaints or issues around Android. The first is Android is not as secure as iOS because iOS gets more updates. The second is Android is the wild, wild west. It's just unmanageable, it's fragmented. And then third is there's no features for admins to control those updates on Android like for iOS. So today I want to cover four main areas that are going to respond to those three concerns that we're hearing around the globe. The first is Project Treble. This gives Google a way to deliver faster Android releases to device manufacturers such that they can turn around those updates much faster. The second is system updates. We've done a lot of work over the past few years to enable the OEM ecosystem as well as the carrier ecosystem a more robust way to get those updates out faster. And we've also taken some of the components that traditionally have gone through carriers and OEMs and provided those directly from Google Play. The third area is around controls. We have all these great security features built into the operating system, but when you as an IT administrator need to manage those devices, we needed to give a way that was robust, powerful for enterprise customers to control those security tools. And finally, we'll go over a quick overview of how well some of the OEMs and carriers have done this year around the globe to kind of dispel the last one there that said Android don't get updates very often. So, the first thing we'll talk about here is Project Treble. This is really something that we delivered to the ecosystem several years ago in Android Oreo 8.0 was the first release for Project Treble. It's really provided us a way to give the OEMs an easier and faster way. It also was less costly for those OEMs to get those updates out much quicker. Essentially, it's a hardware abstraction layer that we built into the operating system that allows the OEMs to deliver updates much faster without having to worry about how that would interact with the software on chip or the silicon vendors down at the board level. So again, a lot of the processes and backwards porting that had to be done in the past has been removed because this abstraction layer actually helps by mitigating those issues and getting those updates out much, much quicker. The monthly Android security updates. Several years ago, Google started this with their own devices, with the Nexus devices before the Pixels were released, where we would deliver security updates every 30 days, no matter what. And we've been doing very well on that. We have consistently done that every 30 days. The ecosystem has also become more regular. We've given them more tools, and with Project Treble and some of the other tools, they have actually become very good at getting those updates out very, very quickly. The other component about Android security updates is the Google Play system updates. This is something we introduced in Android 10, which gives us a modular way of updating core operating system components, regardless of the OEM or the carrier, and we deliver those through Google Play, just as they are needed. We also introduced something in Android 10 called manual offline updates. So you now have the ability to update Android 10 devices when they're not actually connected to the internet. And the final point I want to make about how Android security updates have been doing over the years is that we've actually done some studies, and we're seeing that 84% more devices are getting patched over last year at this same time. That's just a proof point that shows the work we've been doing to assist and enable the OEMs and carriers to get updates out faster. That is in fact a reality. Now, to go a little further into that Google Play system updates, now again, this is for Android 10. What we've done is we've actually taken some of the core system components in the operating system, and we are now able to deliver those directly from Google Play. There's no OTA or over-the-air process required. It's also OEM independent as well as carrier independent, as they go directly from Google Play. These components mainly cover security areas in the core operating system, such as networking components and the media codecs, as well as Conscript, which is part of the encryption updatability through Android. Now, the main thing here that I like to highlight is that in the past, attackers like to attack these type of areas. So what we did is pull those out. We can update them anytime we need to patch vulnerabilities in a very quick, consistent, and reliable manner. Now that we've kind of seen a quick look at how those, the study of how updates are actually going out, we know they're there, we know that we build these into the system, but how do we control them? We control them with tools in the Android Enterprise program. And this is available to the EMMs. This is the set of APIs across all devices that you can use as an IT admin to control many security components on an Android device to meet your specific needs. So one of the parts that we like to do is give controls to EMMs, not only about delaying, but also having controls on when those updates go out. So since Android Oreo or 8.0, we started giving the ability for EMMs to delay those over-the-air updates. In Pi, and above, it's 90 days. So you can actually delay an update from your carrier for up to 90 days. And that's in a granular fashion. So IT has time to actually test those updates to make sure that they don't interfere with any of your critical processes and applications. We also give API for the EMMs to pull the device. They can now see the date of that security update, and they can see the date of that Google Play system update and use that date as a mitigation by applying automatic compliance rules based on policies. For example, if a user keeps denying a particular update, at a certain point, that device will fall out of compliance because the update is too old. The EMM can then restrict the user from getting access to corporate data, or in the worst case, actually wipe that device's enterprise information. And finally, we believe in being very clear and visible. So reporting both to the user in a simple screen to know the dates and to know that their devices are actually updated and safe, but also giving the capability for admins to be able to pull the system and do those mitigations to ensure the users are applying those updates. Now, as part of that update process in Android 10, we delivered a new capability for you as IT administrators to deliver those updates independently of your carrier and OEM. You simply have the ability now, through your EMM carrier, to host and update file directly on your own infrastructure. This provides you the ability to test those updates fleet-wide, or before you deploy them fleet-wide, on specific devices, again, to ensure that those updates do not break any processes or applications that you've deployed for business-critical devices and users. You also have more capabilities to stagger the rollouts because you now are controlling which devices are actually getting that update and when. So you can actually mitigate and use that as a process to get those updates out without interacting users. You can do it off hours and you can do it offline. And finally, update lives on your local servers. So one of the benefits here, if you have your location has limited capabilities or connections to the internet, you now have the ability to deliver those directly from your own servers. Therefore, the devices are getting the updates directly from your own network and not having to reach out to the internet. Directly from your own network and not having to reach out to the internet. Okay, now to wrap up all of what we just covered, particularly around how devices from the major carriers are coming globally in 2019. This is a kind of a wrap up here. And you can see this on the android.com/security website, where you can see this transparency report. But essentially what this is saying is that globally, this is a global statistic, that there's over 600 flagship level devices worldwide that are now getting updates within 90 days of Google releasing them. These are the devices that you're going to be using in your enterprise use cases. To find out more about Android's enterprise-grade security and how Android works to protect your data, apps, and devices, please check out our websites at android.com/security and android.com/enterprise. And visit Android on Air to watch this video on demand and register for more upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.